Alright, this video is how to send out an announcement to the parents and players and coaches after we've uploaded a practice schedule or even other schedules. So you can see in the example I'm using, we just finished uploading practice schedules, which equivalent to 67 records. And if you recall, we actually did multiple weeks that time. I actually typically just load 1 week at a time just to keep allocations in line, but so we're actually going to send out the announcement now, and the example we were using was week 29, 30, and actually 31, which is actually the end of the season, so that's not typical. Typically it's just 1 week. So I'm just going to click on communication here. You can also access it from your main menu. I'll show you how to do that. If you run the main menu, it actually shows up at the very top when you first log in. So I'm going to click on Send Email Announcement. And I want to be clear in the announcement what the email is. So I know, and this follows the format that we've done before, and you can actually see some of the ones that I've done before. So I'm going to actually pick one of these. Let's just pick this one here because that's pretty close. So we're going to say Trails West Practice released, and if you recall, it was Monday, March 17th is what we issued that from, and that went all the way through, again this is an oddball one, we went all the way through Monday, March the 31st. And that actually covered weeks 29, 30, and 31. Again, normally that's just 1 week and we just go in 7-day increments. Now in the body of the email, we want to be very clear in what we're telling the association members. And we also want to make sure that people understand who the email is going out to. The system's not that smart to tell folks what's going on. So we want to say parents, players, coaches, and managers. And I actually have a template that I've used before, but I'm just going to wing it here. Practice ice schedule for the above period has been released. And that sometimes is good enough. However, it is the end of the season and there's certain things going on. There could be playoffs, there could be tournaments, there could be, you know, the teams do give me blackout periods, and sometimes they change their mind and say, no, we actually wanted to end our season sooner rather than what we had told you. So I'm just going to put in here, attention managers, and again this is to save the association money and also to save on last minute changes as well. It all saves on many of the things going on. So attention managers, please review schedule against your team's availability, especially as we end as the 2013-14 season ends. If your team has been allocated ice that it will not use, please advise soonest so that Trails West can return return ice for refund and keep our future fees under control. And thanks, Brad. And typically I put the email address underneath it, trailswesthockey.com, although the email does send that out automatically. So, all right, so that's, you could have fast forward through that, obviously through this. Now I do want to send it to players, and he says, well, why send it to players? Well, we do have juniors and midgets who do have their own email addresses, and some of them do drive themselves, so they need to be aware of the schedule. Next up, we want to make sure we flag the parents, and we also want to flag the coaching staff. Next up, you can ignore this stuff down here. It's not really that relevant for the purposes of sending an email. You could click on these ones, but I typically find that because some leagues I don't load schedules for, or I maybe purposely miss them, or I may have actually loaded them already. In this instance, I Learn to Skate was finished at the last week, so they actually don't have any more ice, so I'm going to skip them. So I got junior, that team is just a placeholder, so I don't want it. Midget, Timbits, Bantam, Pee-wee, Novice, Atom, and that's been saved. So we got that, and I've already clicked on all the coaching staff there already, but if you want to, you can always click this one as well. It's not going to create replicates or duplicates. I'm going to turn it off for now, just because, and I typically like to scroll down and pick the ice coordinator, which is me. Obviously, if you have kids in hockey, you'll get the email as well, but it always helps to send that off just in case there's an error or mistake. And then you just click on save, and it's going to send out the email, and this typically does take probably about a minute to 2 minutes, just given the size of our association. So that concludes how to send an email announcement after you've loaded a schedule.